Hi everyone! Today you're going to be learning about corresponding angles. So we've got a little mathematical diagram here that is made up of a pair of parallel lines, and then we've got a transversal line here. Now a transversal line is just a line that cuts across two or more parallel lines. And I have one angle that's already been marked. Now the rule for corresponding angles is if you have a marked angle on the diagram, the angle that's in the corresponding position with regards to the parallel lines are going to be equal. So if we've got the angle marked just below the parallel line at the top to the right of the transversal line, then the same position below the parallel line or to the right of the transversal line, that angle is going to be the same. And that's the rule that you're going to have to learn about today, that corresponding angles are equal. So these angles here are in corresponding positions with regards to the parallel lines, and they are equal in size. Now, a little rule that sometimes helps, and they're often referred to F angles. Now, you probably can see it already, but we've got a little F shape here if I highlight it for you. So look at this. You can pick out the F shape, and then it means that you can highlight the corresponding angles within the F shape. So that's what you need to remember here. Corresponding angles are equal, and a lot of the time people refer to them as F angles. So I've got a few different examples based on the questions that you're going to be working through today. So the first example here, it says mark the angles which correspond to the ones that are already marked. So if you look at the first diagram, we've got a triangle, and then we've got the bottom line is parallel to this line in the middle of it, cutting through the centre of the triangle. And there's two different angles that have been marked in that particular diagram. So what we've got to try and do here is find corresponding angles, or F-shaped angles, so that we can mark in the angles that are corresponding to the little star and the little circle. So what I will say to you is when you're looking for your F shapes, they will not always be the obvious routine F shape as you would write it when you're writing the letter. Sometimes it could be upside down, back to front, on its side. Okay, so if we look at this angle here, the little star, if I highlight this line here and then go across the parallel lines, hopefully you can see we've got an upside down capital F shape. So this angle here is going to be corresponding to this angle here because it's in the same position. It's directly above the parallel line, and it's to the right of the transversal line on the left hand side. So we've managed to fill in the corresponding angle to the star down here. So that's the one we've filled in. Now with regards to the circle, we want to do the same thing. We want to try and find an F shape. So what I'm going to do is highlight the transversal line first and come across the parallel lines. So in this case, our little circle angle is above the parallel line to the left of the transversal line. So above the parallel line, next to the transversal line, that one's going to be the same. So we've found a corresponding angle to the original circle that was marked. So we've finished that question. We've marked in the corresponding angles to the ones that were already given. So what we've got to do is do the same thing for this diagram here. Now there's multiple F shapes that you could pick out in this one, but we want to find one specific F shape that includes this angle that's been marked. So if you think about it, we've got the transversal line here, and we've got our parallel lines. So if we highlight them, we've got our back to front F shape that's on its side. So the angle corresponding to this one is to the left of the parallel line. So to the left of this parallel line, we can mark in our corresponding angle to the one that was given originally. And we've answered that question now as well. So for the last couple of questions, it says use your knowledge of angle rules for straight lines and corresponding angles to fill in all the missing angles. So if we look at the first diagram, we've been given one angle here, we've been given 106 degrees. So we've got to combine some rules of angles that you've covered before with the new rule, corresponding angles, to fill in these two angles here that are missing. So if we start with the corresponding angle rule first of all, we want to try and find that sort of F shape, remember. So we've got our transversal line here, and if we come across our parallel lines, hopefully you can see the F shape. So our 106 degrees is directly above the parallel line to the left of the transversal. So above the parallel line, left of the transversal is going to be identical in size because they're equal corresponding angles. So 106 degrees and a 106 degrees. So we've got one angle left to find. So what you're going to have to do here is think about the other rule that you've covered before, which is the angle on a straight line. So if we consider this straight line here, what you hopefully remember is 180 degrees is a straight line. So we know that we've got a 106 degrees. So to find the missing one, it's same as what you've done before. If we start with the 180 and take away what you know, you'll be left with 74 degrees. So we can fill in 74 degrees in there. So that first diagram is now complete. So we started with the 106 degrees at the bottom and we filled in the other two missing angles using the rules for straight lines and corresponding angles. Now we're going to do the same thing for the last example. So in this one, we've got our transversal line, and then we've got the parallel lines, and we've got the 58 degrees here. So it's to the left of the parallel line, above the transversal. So to the left of the other parallel line, above the transversal, is going to be equal. So they're both going to be 58 degrees. Okay, so we've got one left to find. So again, you've got to consider your other rule that you should know about straight lines. So we've got a straight line here. So we've got 58 degrees, and we want to know what else we need to make that up to the full 180. So again, 180, take away what you know, the 58 will leave you with 122 degrees. So that goes in there, 122 degrees. Okay, so these examples should hopefully help you with the questions that you're going to be trying today. As always, please let me know if you need any help. See you soon. Bye.